Hi everyone, and welcome to Transfiguration 103. This is week 2 of the cable mitts. So we're going to be looking at this pattern. Okay, I printed it out. I don't know if you did. And we're going to be starting here. We're going to be casting on 32 stitches, and 12 stitches are going to be on needle 1 and 10 across needles 2 and 3. If you're doing magic loop, all you're going to do is put 12 on needle 1 and then 20 on the other half. And then you're going to join working in the round. Be careful, being careful not to twist stitches. And then we're going to work knit 2, purl 2, rib for 10 rounds. So what we did for our gauge. And what I suggest is getting a pen and paper so that you can mark down how many rounds you do instead of trying to figure out how to count that. Alright, so let's get casting on here. I have my yarn here. Alright. And I have magic loop. If you are using double points, I suggest you go to the dragon scale video to just see how to rearrange it on double points. So again, I'm doing long tail cast on. Alright, pause the video here and finish casting on your 32 stitches. Alright, so I have my 32 stitches casted on, but I just want to double check. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 8, 30, 32, 33. Oh, apparently I have 33 stitches on here. 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 33. Alright, so I'm going to just take this one stitch off. Alright, I cast it on my 32. This side where you started your cast on is going to be needle 1. So if you're using double point needles, you're going to be sliding 12 stitches from over here onto needle 1 and then separating the last 20 into needle 2 and 3. For the magic loop, I just scooch the stitches in the middle of the cable and I count 12. 6, 8, 10, 12. 8, 10, 12. Alright, I count 12. I grab onto the cable in between 12 and 13. I hold the stitches like that and I just pull. And that separates it out. Nice, easy, simple. And then I'm going to make sure that my stitches are in order. Okay. So for knitting, when I first start knitting, I knit using both tail and ball yarn for about 5 stitches. The reason I do this is it actually helps get the tail yarn into a weave so that it won't untangle ever. Also, I found that it makes the seam seamless because you're using both. So what I'm going to do here is start my knit 2, purl 2. And I always like to end on a knit. It's just a preference. You always kind of want to pull that first and second stitch a little bit tight to make sure that you're not going to have any laddering. Alright, now I'm going to purl 2. And my last knitting with the 2 strands. Alright, and I'm going to stop here. I'm going to grab that tail yarn. I'm going to pull it through. Alright, because this way when it's down here, it's not going to get tangled up in this. So continue to knit 2, purl 2. So we're going to knit 1. We're going to finish our knit 1. And continue to knit 2, purl 2 for the round, and then I'm going to explain what to do with these 2 stitches that you have on the beginning 5 stitches. So pause the video here and finish that round, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I finished round 1, and I'm going to start round 2. Something I also forgot is to put a stitch marker here. So I'll show you. Oh, the reason I'm starting here is, so now you have these 2 stitches here, and you're going to just knit both of them. Knit and purl both of them like they're just normal stitches. Alright, so I'm going to put my stitch marker on here. I use a knotted piece of yarn. Tighten that up. So again, 2 strands of yarn are being knit. And then you have your 2 strands of yarn being purled there, and 2 there. And then 1 more for being knit. And that's about it for the confusion. So we're on row 9. We're on row 2. So we did 1, now we're on row 2. There's 8 more to do after you finish this row. So pause the video here, finish your 10 rows of knit 2, purl 2. Remember to mark it on a piece of paper so that you can properly count it. And I'll be right back with you. Alright, so I finished my 10 rows of knit 2, purl 2 here. And this I know is my needle 1 because of the yarn tail. You will probably have a stitch marker in there. Alright, so now we're going to go to the next round here. It says begin working chart across needle 1 and continue rib part across needles 2 and 3. So only for needle 1 is going to change. And you're going to work until thumb gusset on row 6 of the second chart repeat. So what I normally do is I normally have a pencil and I do like ticks by which ones I've done. So it's like by the time I will finish this, there would be like a little mark by everything. So how to read this. Knits are squares, purls are dots, and this cable is this wonderful weird Xy thing where we'll get to that at row 6. So for row 1, you're gonna knit 2, purl 2. You're gonna knit, what is that? 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna knit 6. So knit 2, purl 2, knit 6, purl 2. Alright. Simple enough, right? So here we go. Knit 2. Purl 2. And we're going to knit 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now we're going to purl 2. Simple enough. So repeat that for what? It's going to be 5 more rounds before row 6. Or is it 4 more rounds? That's 1. So yeah, 4 more rounds. And make sure to mark it down which row you're on so that you can keep track. Otherwise, you're going to have to learn how to count stitches, and that's not easy to do. I still have problems with that sometimes. So knit until row 6. Pause the video here, and I will help you with the cabling part now, next. Alright, so now you have your 6 rows done. Or sorry, 5 rows. We're on row 6. So over here next to the numbers, I have it marked by which row I'm doing. If you want to add 2 more cables or 3 more cables, you can. You can do it every 6 rows. So row 12, you can just do the same sort of cable, or you can stick to the 3 Again, it's your preference. I actually saw somebody do the 6 cables instead of the 3. It looks really nice. I'll link the Ravelry page on our group Ravelry. Alright, so here we're going to learn how to kick cable 6 back. Now, you're not actually cabling 6 stitches back. You're only doing 3. So 3 are going to go back, the other 3 are going to go forward to get the cables. So what it means by this back and front is the way that you move the stitches. So to move the cables forward, you bring them in front of your stitching. To move them back, you move them back. Alright, let's get started on that cabling. So we're starting row 6 here. Alright, so I'm going to start with a knit 2, purl 2. And make sure to have your cable needle ready. So knitting 2, purling 2. Alright, now I'm going to cable 6 back according to doing a left. So I have the hook one. You can also use this one. This one's actually rather simple. You just slip 3 on, hold it, and then knit with the other side. I like the hook one a little bit better, but I'll show you how to use this. If you're using a double point, it'd be the same as this, except it doesn't have the little bar to hold it. So I'm gonna slip purlwise 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, and mine go into the little hook there. All right, and now we're gonna knit 3 off of this needle. Oh, sorry. We're bringing these to the back. So cable 3 front, these go forward. Cable 3 back, these go back. Simple enough, right? So we're gonna knit 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna slide these down. I'm gonna bring these stitches up actually. I'm gonna slide these down and knit 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm gonna go ahead and purl 2. 1, 2. And that's it. That's how to cable. And then you're gonna just knit these like regular and it'll show up as a cable. Alright, so finish those 12 rows of knit 2, purl 2, knit 6, purl 2, and get ready for the thumb gusset next week. See you guys.